on Facebook a couple days ago that showed the Earth with a big reset button on it and a finger obviously pressing that. And that is exactly, I think, what's happening in our industry when you look at online video calls, online scheduling, things like that. There's been a big reset press because physically we simply can't go and speak to the people the way we did before. So what we're now seeing is video communication online being used across health industries. We are seeing in Australia and the United States and Canada and the UK. We're seeing the insurance companies, the regulatory bodies are allowing you to use Zoom and Skype and Hangouts, things like that in order to use video. And to be honest with you, they all work. If you're trying to get hold of a client and you're trying to actually look at them in the eye as you're speaking to them, absolutely they will work, and go for it. We're different, and I want to show you why we're different and why this makes sense. Because in two weeks or 4 weeks or 3 months or 6 months, when this thing starts to resolve itself, there are going to be those out there that while this was occurring, created a business, or some of them went and simply found a quick solution, and they're going to go back to their old way. Well, I'm not sure that's going to work. We've got a reset that's going on worldwide, socially, economically, politically. You're going to see some amazing fallouts. And what I'm really interested in showing you and talking through today is understanding how to treat the client in a better way going forward using these new platform capabilities, these communication tools as part of your overall business. So if you want to use Zoom and Facebook Live to go and chat with clients, by all means, it will work. But if you're trying to build a business going forward, let me show you a few things to think about that you can incorporate today, right away, in your existing business, and then use it in the future. Because in the future, if you've done it correctly, online communications will be part of that overall customer relationship, not just something that you grab today while COVID was rampant, and then you can turn off later. So if you think about the customer relationship, what I'm trying to understand is what's the ideal way in which you want to actually talk to somebody. And I don't want to go through a whole software demonstration here. We can do that at some point if you're interested. But let me just show you some way in which I think makes more sense for a client to come in and have a chat with, whether you're a health practitioner, a physiotherapist, or even a tutor or an educator. There are better ways in which you can actually set up software and have a communication going forward, starting today, and then using this as part of your business going forward. And this is going to be the interesting part. So at Live Clinic, you could see a bunch of messages or features and functions and benefits about our overall package. But just think about this from a client point of view. If I'm a client of you as a business and I'm going to come in, I'm going to book a call and I'm going to go through a process that builds up that relationship today and then ongoing. This is what we think it should look like. So here's an example. If I log into the back end of one of our sites, I'm now an actual client. So I'm actually going to be logging into the back end of the site that I'm looking at. So this is all a SaaS-based product. I'm as a client, I'm installing nothing on my front end whatsoever. I've registered and I'm simply logging in. And now I'm going to go and connect to a professional. Real simple. That professional, whether they're in the healthcare space or an educator, has provided certain services and created those on the fly. And those services I can see when I log in. So for example, doesn't this make more sense? I'm going to schedule a call. That's a video call. I'm going to then find some dates that make sense to me. So I can choose a date, for example. And then on March 27th, I'm looking at Amanda Pierce as my holistic therapist. I'm going to choose a time. I'm bright and early, 5:30, nice and simple. And then we get into things like this. So we want to actually have some information and contact information as part of that discussion now, prior to actually having that video call, so that we keep things up to date for both parties. So for example, I can do this and put this ahead of time, so my client actually, I as the client will actually give you some information, and then we can put in some questions. So before I actually chat with the holistic provider here, maybe there's some questions that I need to answer here. So what is my age? At this point in time, concerned I'm about, something like this. Have I seen a traditional doctor before? Yes, I have. Are you covered? All of these questions here are part of the intake questions that you as a business can actually define well ahead. So based upon the service that you've got, you're actually getting a relationship started well before the video call. So I can actually even message the professional this way, continue, and then I get to the payment side. So what have I done? I've chosen my actual type of call I want to have, a video. I've given some contact information. I've answered some questions. I've sent a specific message, all in preparation, all in qualification for a meeting. You can't do that on Zoom. You can't do that on Skype. None of that is possible. This is all a business relationship that we're creating in a proper, significant way going forward. If I have to pay for this, if the service was payable, I'd actually go in here, or I can actually set up a coupon. I can actually do it this way, and then I would simply schedule an appointment. Doesn't that make more sense than the Zoom and other types of really social video sessions as opposed to a business video session? So going forward, I would basically, in 8 hours now, I would start that consultation, and Amanda on her side would also start that consultation, and we'd actually be looking at each other video to video, screen sharing, large imagery, all that kind of stuff, no problem. But in the meantime, I could also do things like I can upload a file so Amanda can actually see certain things about me that I want her to have a look at. And at the same time, Amanda may actually have some more information based upon some of the questions I answered, and she'll send those back to me ahead of the video call as well. Again, from a business point of view, we're trying to take that relationship that you would do in person and make it as close online as possible and qualify that lead, that client, well before the call. So we make that call as valuable as we can. So that's basically give you an idea of way in which you can actually look at creating an online consulting platform, a telehealth platform, things like that. And we've really focused in these areas here now. We're into the telehealth space. We've got an entire company called Smart.vet, which is helping veterinarians now, particularly the ones who have now closed, be able to triage pet calls. And now we're expanding very quickly in the telehealth space and into these specific disciplines as well. One of the other things that's really interesting to us, of course, is the educators as well, the tutors, because again, with schools being closed, universities being closed, the education still should go on. And there are definitely ways in which individual educators and tutors can use our platform to actually create an entire education session, take payment, record, share notes, have the parents be able to see, things like that. So that's what I just wanted to let you guys understand. This is a business way in which you can use telecommunications now, video, message, and chat, calendars, payment systems. All of that is going forward as we all try to get over this COVID issue that's going on right now. Anyway, thanks very much. Great to talk to you.